Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Before I switched, so let me get a sound check, please. How do I sound? Hold on, had somebody pop in. Hey Tim, welcome back to the Quantum Panel. Thanks for coming by,
Howdy,
dude.
howdy.
Do I sound okay?
You sound okay on my end?
Okay, good deal. Alrighty then. Well, yeah. How was your week? I feel very restrained. How are you doing, dude?
Uh, it it is what it is. I see time more as a wavelength or a frequency than I do a consecutive series of events. So last week was successful. We're here. We're quantum, and we're ready to
Survived
go.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey
Okay.
Amanda. Hey Rachel. Hey Aussie. Hey Renee.
Everybody, hey Sarah, everybody in the Quantum Show. Rachel is OB2. OB2, our very own OB2. There's a story behind that. It's funny. I love it. Because it used to be RAF something, and that made me think Royal Air Force, and that made me think of Obi-Wan's brother in the Royal Air Force, and they called him OB2, so I call her OB2. I know it's so nerdy, so geeky.
Yeah, it's cool.
But anyway. Yeah, we made it to the week, and you know what? I said feeling held back, and that was the whole premise, the title and all, because I had to turn down two different event invitations today, just today, because
Mm,
of this medical stuff I'm having to deal with.
right.
Mm. But you got to do what you got to do because I don't like the situation and I want to get better. And I understand this is a healing time, and that's fine by me. Oh, and well, also I wanted to like update everybody. I've been doing methylene blue like twice a day. I,
How's
I,
that working out?
eh,
Maybe.
it's I mean maybe it's doing something. I don't know. I can't really tell. I don't really know how I'm supposed to do it. I'm just putting four drops in a little thing of water like this,
Yeah.
one of the little bottles of water from Deer Park, and going with it. Two to three of those a day. I've had one today, and I don't know if it's happening. Somebody said that their vision, their here's what they said, that their peripheral vision was enhanced and it was
Hmm.
clearer over here. I'm like, well, that's interesting, but I'm not really seeing anything else. If it's preventative, then great. Uh, Hopefully, it's preventing something from happening. I don't know. I won't know because it will have been prevented, and I'm just
Right.
going with it. I've also been again recommended to go get ivermectin, and I'm like, yeah, I think I will do that.
Hmm.
Sounds like as long as I'm just gonna keep it on the down low, but I'm gonna get some. Why not? You know, R- Raven may be joining us tonight.
Nice.
Lynn has called out. She has got some health stuff going on. She has a headache. She can't concentrate. Shout out, Lynn. Get better. You know. You know. You
Understood.
know.
Oh, I know. Focus is the greatest issue.
Mm, yep. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Quantum Panel. Thanks for coming by. Woo just walked in. Awesome. And um, yeah, dude, I want to have an event in Nashville at the local Legion.
Nice.
I have been to several, so I have and I've hosted several in years about gone by. I never did anything when we were in the same unit though. That sucked.
Yeah. Well, Germany was kind of a weird location. The Underwood Concern was a newer concern out in the middle of nowhere, and um, there wasn't really much community uh, outside of what went on in Barrett's life.
Yeah. Now, for the audience, right? I want to say concern. It is like a, yeah, it's kind of like a little outpost, and this was literally in a neighborhood. Imagine there is literally no comparison to over here, dude. I mean, it's like,
Well,
hmm,
I got a quick explanation for it. During World War II, Hitler realized that if he put all of his assets in one big military base like we have in the United States,
right.
that they would get bombed. So he split up assets into these smaller bases that they called caserns, and the caserns were usually co-located with other assets, and they were out in the middle of nowhere. So it
Hmm.
made it really, really inconvenient to travel as a single soldier.
Yeah. Tactically very defensible, but not very social.
Right.
Yeah, very defensible, but not social. So I got the word on the screen as far as I know how it's spelled. And so, yeah, I forgot about that part. It was, I mean, it was in a neighborhood. It was like
Right.
between two neighborhoods. And did you ever go to the bars over by Underwood?
Yeah,
Like,
they weren't bad. Because like you said, that was just a neighborhood. So it was like a friendly neighborhood bar. The one over by Pioneer Concern, though, was kind of a rough tavern to
hmm,
go to. It had
I
a
actually
lot of
never went to that one.
that one. There was a lot of conflicts between American soldiers and young Turkish youth.
Yeah, I remember the Turkish. They were refugees over there.
Right. After
And
World War II, they helped rebuild Germany.
yeah, there was a Turkish street fair as far as I can remember. Did you ever go to that thing? It was like an open air bazaar.
No, I had a Turkish girlfriend for a minute. That's about as far as I went, but she was loco, so I kind of like, you know, I
Yeah.
didn't get to immerse in the culture as much as I would have liked to, but I did appreciate what immersion I got.
Yeah, I didn't do too much. Dude, did I ever tell you about that train trip we took? Me and two other soldiers, Yangelmao. Remember Yangelmao? Oh
Mm.
boy. She ended up working in, they kicked her upstairs to keep her out of trouble. Dude. We went on a train trip, and I have got to tell you this. We ended up, I think I told you, we ended up in this place called Mohan, and we ended up in a Turkish owned hotel with a indentured servant by the name of Helen from Georgia, Russia.
Ow.
It was nuts, dude. They still do that over there. This stuff, I mean,
Yes.
human rights. What is a violation, huh? Define violation. You know. We went over there, and dude, I bought. You remember them when the thick-soled shoes were coming into style over there, and they were all over the place being
Those kind
advertised.
of dragon tooth ones.
Well, the real thick soles.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, not exactly platform, but almost platform. I bought a cheap pair. Worst decision ever. We were walking around Ramstein, right?
Yeah.
And they blew out. Okay. They were not meant for walking. They blew out. I ended up looking like I came off a road march from that thing. And then the dude brought us to this cafe that he said was so awesome. It was a stand and eat bar cafe. I'm like, motherfucker, my feet are killing me. These shoes are blown out on me, and you're going to a place with no chairs? Fuck you. To eat street dog and squirrel with this jelly mustard and jelly mayonnaise slimy ass gross. No, fuck this sandwich. He was like, well, don't waste it. I'm like, I pay for it. It was wasted before I got it. Dude, it was, oh my gosh. And when we got to that Mohan place, right? We had who had it? Yangamau had a huge ass VHS camcorder, the whole bazooka looking thing on your shoulder. And it wasn't no little thing like that or no little thing like that. It was you're holding like a boom box with a lens on it. And she goes, and dude, she almost got us murdered. I swear to God.
Oh.
It's Turkish and German people on this train. It's quiet. It's an ice train. Remember them?
Yes.
It was super quiet. There was no noise. It just looked. The only way you knew you were moving is you would look outside. That's how awesome the trains can be. But we were on an ice train, and there was this woman in the back with way heavy overdone makeup, right? And now, let me explain to the crowd. You mind your own freaking business in Germany. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. There's a reason that thing comes around, right? That phrase exists. She was drunk, and she was loud, being a stupid American, yelling about how ugly this woman is and how bad her makeup is. And this woman is just trying to ignore us. She's about halfway. We're at the front. She's about halfway back. And they were pretty big cars, right? Well, about 10 minutes before we get off, she stands up and says, I speak English perfectly, and stalked to the back of the train and fixed her makeup. Dude, I was like, shut up, fucking Yangamau, shut up. And she was recording. She said, now I would say like this, but it was more like this. If we get murdered, we know who did it. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. That could happen.
Yeah.
It could actually happen. And we got off the train, and then everybody was looking at us with these looks. And we ended up in this. It was 11 o'clock. Nothing was open except for this. There was this one Turkish hotel, hostel, something or other. They microwaved us this big lamb or goat or something. And we were so drunk and desperate, we just ate whatever. It was half frozen. Dude, and I got to talking to Helen. She was very pretty. And let me tell you, back then, I'm going to be honest with y'all here on the panel and in the chat. When she told me that she was indentured to them as a servant, her words, right? I owe them. I thought, this bitch is slave. I'm going to steal this bitch. That's the first thing I thought, dude. Because she was cute, right? Real tall. She was from Russia. That's honestly what I thought. People, that's honestly what I thought. I was like, how old was I? Like 22?
Yeah.
23 when I got there, something. And
we were young and good looking once.
And cocky as fuck. But I knew not to fuck around with the locals because they were mean, y'all. The concern that we were at, Underwood, right down the road, I only drove past it, and I barely remember what it looked like. But there was a Norse Odin temple.
Yeah.
And they did not like Americans. Did you ever? I never went there.
I walked around those neighborhoods a lot.
Yeah. I was able to walk.
When I got out, I stayed in Germany a while because I got that European out. And I ended up living over there in Wolfgang. So I stayed in the area for a bit.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was interesting being on the outside looking in the fence for a change.
I never had a chance to do that. It was something, it would have been neat to do that, but I don't know. Things just worked out the way they worked out for me, and you got to stay. I look at that as like like you took the opportunity to stay, and that was awesome.
Yeah, it worked out for a few years. I came back. I came back homesick, and a bit culture shocked. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone should live in another country for a while. Immersion, immersion of culture. It's, it's one thing to be stationed somewhere, but to be stuck as an outsider in the system
yeah,
is different. It's a different perspective.
yeah, for sure. I was only stationed, and I never was really presented with the opportunity to go, like you said, complete immersion. Except for when I moved to El Paso, and that was like complete immersion into Mexico, for real.
That
It was. It was.
works too.
Yeah, and I learned.
Mexico will toughen you up in a hurry.
Hell yeah. Hell, oh man. Some of the oddities of Mexico, right? The public bus, you don't get on it. They're
Mhm.
very few and far between. The buses that you see are company buses, and it seems like if you work for what was that big store over there? It was like a Walmart, but it was red. I don't remember. It was this big department store. The people who worked there got picked up by buses. Could you imagine if the Walmart bus went and picked up their employees? But and they didn't really stop the bus for you to get on. You just had to jump up and grab something and pull yourself up. The same I swear, this is what people told me, right? They would have to jump on the bus as it slowed down a little bit for you, and then you would jump off because like people were all the time getting their ankles hung and being like tripped by the bus. It's like, whoa, what? The
Oof.
streets are not maintained. Not at all, dude. Imagine the worst back alley you've ever been in, and that's like Main Street over
Yeah,
there. It was
you're
so. Mhm.
you lived in what is that, Juarez
Mm,
crossing, right?
yeah, I lived
Yeah,
in Northeast El Paso mainly, but I went and stayed in Juarez, and it was like 5 minutes from the gate, maybe 10 minutes from the gate on the Mexico side.
yeah,
Yeah, and I stayed there for a little while, like a week, one time while we were getting everything situated, moving from one apartment to another, and that was crazy. Aussie is reminding us, please like, share, and subscribe if you're here. Your quantum. I had a whole list of stuff to talk about. You heard the first hour. You were there the whole thing, right, Tim?
yes,
Okay. Trading cards. That would be fantastic,
yes.
dude. I would love to
That
have
is a
trading
great
cards
idea.
and just
And
have them.
would you like? Are you gonna like make them like? Hold on. Playing card type, or are you gonna make them like the Wizard of the Coast cards, or
Well, I'm thinking
are
like
you going to
top
make them
baseball
tarot
cards.
size? Because tarot cards could be cool.
I've thought about doing quantum show tarot cards. I've for a long time, but I was thinking about for just play to my strengths, and I know what to do with baseball cards, tops style cards. I got a crap load of my collection
Ah,
over here. So I'm
okay.
thinking like that. And all the pictures that you've made, that I've made, that Jim's made, the unknown, everybody's made. Unknown sent me something, and I think we should look at it because it might end up on a trading card. Let's see here. Picks from the unknown. Okay. Let me know if he says, all right, I just sent these photos. This is copy paste. If you see anything in them, and of course there is, it's hard to see and you might not notice anything right away. You might have to save them and have a look once in a while. I think it means change your frame of mind. That's what I would mean. I give you my word, there's something in there. Let's see here. Huh? Let me just download all these. In Ufology 35. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Pics from the unknown. Okay, I'm going to. Will it let me? No. Let me. I'm having to do some stuff here. Extract all. Okay. Now it will let me share this stuff. Sorry, everybody. That's just doing things manually, but it takes sometimes. I'm going to maximize this on the screen too.
And I was doing stuff also, so apologies for dead air. I should have been the backup here.
Oh, I need to learn to talk more. Okay, he says there's something in this picture, and maybe dead center. I see something possibly right here, but it could be some pareidolia.
That looks like a Chucky doll to me.
Hold on. Look around here. This whole thing right here looks like it might be. Oh man, my pareidolia is. It looks like a dragon skull.
Oh.
I wish I could. Do you see my cursor?
Yeah, it looks like a skeleton holding a Chucky doll to me. At low resolution.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm looking at. Okay, let's see here. Mars statue. I don't know where that first one came from, but he says this is like maybe a bas relief statue against the side of a hill or something. That's what he says it is. Okay.
I don't see the statue in this one. I see makings of a great statue, but I don't see a statue yet.
It kind of looks like the Easter Island thing. Look at it from the side, and it's looking to our right, and it's got like a pointed snout right here. That's what I see. Looking this way.
Yeah.
That's what I see, kind of, sort of. And this, apparently that's highlighted. I don't really understand what this is supposed to be. Yeah, I'm leaving it up for the people to see. Hey, how pixely! You took a picture of a screen. Awesome. Print screen, dude. Print screen.
Enhance. No, I see like a hand or a face or something in there, but I think it's pareidolia.
Yeah, I think so too. This looks like it might be like, if you look up here, the head, a nose, a mouth, but it's way too, stylized if it was to be anything. I'm not really sure about this one. Okay. Oh, I thought that was my thing with the tools and everything. Let's see here. I don't really see anything in this one. Yeah. He says he's looking at these things on a 65-inch screen, and I really don't see anything. Maybe this looks like a face looking out from behind a rock with like hair falling down, peeking out from like in a little alcove or something, but I don't know that. I'm thinking pareidolia at this point.
I think that we are infected with the virus of making faces in the dark. Pareidolia.
Yeah. Okay, and there we go back to.
Yeah, I can't unsee what I see in it now. And that to me is an indication of pareidolia. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Okay, well, that's as much as I can show what he sent me in email. So I gave it a fair shot. I see pareidolia things in there. if you can get better shots, dude, bring it up on your computer, hit print screen, and paste it onto something else. Because when you take a picture of the screen, you're going to take a picture of all the pixels because your camera seems to be pretty good, and it'll pick up all the texture, including all the pixels that the screen is presenting. Pinky saying morphic resonance. I don't know. Okay. Morphic resonance. Hey, the unknown is here. I just went through the pictures. I don't see anything but pareidolia in this one. Now, if you can get
That was hella fun though.
It was good.
Again.
Yeah, it was great looking at them, reviewing them. And I did try to see what you saw with the highlights and everything, where you put face or statue or something, or you highlighted something. It looked interesting, and I could see why you saw something there. But it just is screaming pareidolia at me right at this moment, right? So if you can, instead of taking a picture of the screen, because those were like, you were taking pictures of the pixels, and that's like technically, I don't know, an overlay on top of the actual picture, right? And if you can get that, here's what I would do, and I've done this before. Line your PC to your giant screen that you have, and then get it on screen as you want it. Focus in, highlight, etc. Hit print screen. The hell was that? Okay. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff, dude. Hit print screen, and then send that picture. Save that picture, because that will go to the layers under the actual pixel screen, making up of a picture, right? And that will be a better representation. Yeah. But we do what we can do. If all I got is a crappy Android phone to take pictures with, guess what I'm going to do? Take a picture with a crappy Android phone. If I got the super nice iPhone, then I'll use it. But sometimes the opportunity is just not there. But thank you, Unknown, and thank you for sending them on so we could look at them. They're now going to live forever on the internet. All good. Check them out here and there. I do have it hooked up to that, but I don't know the quality others get. Well, you can just ensure that you're delivering the best quality. What you do is you get it on screen with your computer, crop, zoom in wherever you want, and instead of clicky, right, you hit print screen and then paste it onto Paint, if nothing else, right? And save it. That's your new picture. It's called, I don't know. I've heard the term, Tim, you know this term, mixing down. That's mixing it down. So it's like a musical term. When you mix something down, you smooth it all out. You run it through the final filters, and instead of hearing separate tracks pushed together, you hear one track. You know what I'm talking about. That's
right. I was in here explaining pareidolia to chat.
Okay. Let me go ahead and highlight those. I'll read it out. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon that causes people to perceive a meaningful interpretation of a nebulous stimulus, usually visual, so that one sees an object, pattern, or meaning where there is none. It occurs when a random and insignificant stimulus, either sound or object, is perceived as being significant. The Rorschach inkblot test, that's a mouthful, uses pareidolia in an attempt to gain insight into a person's mental state. You know what? I have listened to white noise and heard heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
Rap music, country music, people talking. That is audio pareidolia, right? Audio or auditory pareidolia. And we got Raven coming in sideways.
Oh, okay, wait. There we go.
You got that?
There.
You still got a tripod?
Well, yeah, the one you gave me.
It pivots.
Yes, I'm on my tablet though, and I can't fit it on
Oh, it
that.
doesn't fit on it? Okay.
Nope. No, the phone fits perfectly though.
Yeah,
And
this
usually
little,
I use the phone, but it's dead now.
right. Well, yeah, the little squeezer doesn't expand
It
out.
doesn't expand as wide. Yeah.
I had one that did that. I had one that did that, but now I'm using the facial recognition thing hardly at all.
Mm.
Whatever. But
Hi Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Raven. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good.
hey, Kelly,
Hi Kelly.
Unknown is talking about. We just went through some pictures. He says, "I don't take my pixel on my camera. I take screenshots with a Mac." Well, it's taking pictures of the pixels, dude. I don't know what to say. Maybe it's the zooming that did that. In none of those pictures, dude, did I see a Bigfoot. Tim, did you see anything that looked like that?
No, I saw a lot of things that looked like faces and stuff, but I did not see a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I didn't see a Bigfoot in there. That's okay. That's okay. We just think it looks very Predolia. I want to see things, so
Yeah.
our minds manufacture it, and it depends on
True.
your mood
Yes.
and your frame
Mhm.
of mind about what the kind of things you see. Sometimes I see
Absolutely.
robots. Sometimes I see rabbits. Sometimes I see unicorns or devils or whatever. It depends on what mood I'm in at the moment. But we
Well,
did.
the most common form of pareidolia is the human tendency to see faces into the dark.
Oh, really?
That
Yes,
is a
it's the most
very
common form.
that is a very evolutionary thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's just, I mean, I've brought this up before, but for thousands of years. Now, keep in mind, the United States has been around. What do we have written history for? 5,000, 6,000 years, 8,000
Yeah.
years. We have written history for about that long. We've been around for a lot longer than
Longer. Yeah.
that. And in all that time, almost everything on the planet has tried to eat us.
At one time or another, yes.
Yeah. Everything has tried to
Right.
eat us. Look at Australia or Florida.
Oh my God, yes. Everything tries to kill you in Australia, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Seems like
Florida
it.
too. You got meth
Yeah.
gators in Florida, so
Yeah.
they're trying to eat you.
Yeah. The bugs. Ugh. Can you imagine what it would have been like with dinosaurs? In fact, they're saying that they believe that dinosaurs, or at least a few of them, were around at the same time as mankind. There's some footprints in the mud in, I believe it's Texas.
Yeah,
Do I have that right? They're
is
side by side. And just this last weekend, I saw a blurb on something about they think it was a giant sloth that was who was chasing a woman, and the woman had a child. And then you see where she actually like picked up the child and ran for a little while. And then,
Right.
oh yeah, it just made that scene all too real. I
Yeah.
can't imagine anything more terrifying than like a pterodactyl above, ready to swoop down and pluck me off my deck and go eat me alive somewhere. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, or just something. Forget the pterodactyls. Anything walking around you.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, or sneaking up on you. Ugh. Yeah. I just planet Earth would be so much nicer without mosquitoes and bugs.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like a lot of our bugs. I don't like the Jurassic bugs that you saw in the video from the other night. Those are not very fun.
No. But
they were attacking me, y'all. Oh my God. That's okay.
Yeah. You definitely can without that.
Bugs will be bugs, right?
Bugs will be bugs, indeed. Yeah. How they want to weaponize those, like the different insects that are preserved in amber. They're able to find live cells and
preserved
DNA.
cells.
Preserved cells.
Not live. Preserved.
And bring some of that stuff back. I'm like, why? Did you? Oh, I found a story last week. This is hilarious. They are actually making synthetic skin of Tyrannosaurus Rex and making high fashion purses out of them. I shit you not. I could not even make this stuff up. Yes.
You know what? That was like the worst science fiction trope ever. It sounds like Crocs. We'll have them next year.
I know, but it's true. It came from a credible source. I cannot remember. I can look on my previous chat room and find it, though. I'm not kidding. It was like in a science magazine, I think. But anyway, I mean, I guess is that for like the lady that has everything? Yeah, but you don't have a synthetic Tyrannosaurus Rex skin purse.
USA
Top of my Christmas list. But what a waste of science. You found it?
Found it.
Cool.
I'm going to present it. I'll read at least the headline.
Nice.
Maximize. Scientists are growing Tyrannosaurus Rex T-Rex leather in a lab. It can be used to make purses. Just what we needed.
Yeah.
In the middle of the beginning of World War III. You know what this country needs? T-Rex purses.
T-Rex purses and high fashion items. Yes.
Oh
I'm waiting for the jackets. Now, if they made one that was black leather and made it a jacket, then you've got my interest. But
I want the little arms on the side.
Actually, brilliant in a way. If you think about it, you know, these ladies, they want like endangered species and stuff. If you like are taking something that's already extinct and producing a product from it, maybe it's a benefit.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That's an interesting take.
I can see what you're saying. Instead of endangering something else, use what's already extinct because we can create it.
Yeah. They showed a purse. The article that I had was not the same one there.
Hey,
and it was pink. T-Rex underwear. Yeah.
Synthetic T-Rex skin is the new black.
It wouldn't be kind of bad.
God. Pre-mention, welcome back to the show, but damn this comment.
Oh my God. He is so witty. Oh, I love his comments.
Welcome back, Scream Engine.
I love it.
Great to have you back, man. Yeah, maybe I should make some stuff for the trading cards. Oh, Raven, I'm thinking about making Quantum Show trading cards.
Okay, good.
Like baseball cards.
Do it.
Why not? I mean,
why not? Nobody else has. That's a great idea.
I'm the only one making cards for other subjects. I did it for Rich. I made him a set of 6 cards with his own art, and I made on the back. It was like I paid somebody a $5 dude to make art based on a sketch.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any. I gave them to him, but they were pretty cool. I liked them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that for this show, and I'll just kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to do stuff for your own thing.
Yeah. How about like take a couple quotes from Einstein or something having to do with the quantum realm?
Oh, I got plenty of quotes. How many quotes do we have? Whittle the grain.
Oh yes. Don't
choice
water
the toothpick of certainty. What the hell?
I've got them written down. I do. I don't have that notebook out here with me right at the moment, but I do have them written down.
I've got them saved. I've got. Oh, cool. You know what? Let me show you the library I have of what is the Quantum Show. Right? I will just. This is funny. I'm not going to go through each. Yeah, here we go. I'm not going to go through each one, but these are all Quantum Show.
Wow.
This is the library of the Quantum Show.
Cool.
Voice AI. Oh, here. This is the. Oh, you can't see that. Never mind. It's where I gave you permission to use anything. All the old. Look at them. All the things that I have. All the hold up the card and stuff. All the pictures.
Oh my God! Wow.
Ooh.
I have gotten all this. These are do not butter the bread of confusion. That's one.
Yes.
Alien Girl 111 logo.
Yeah. Cool.
Alien Girl 1111 logo.
Yeah.
Cool, very cool.
All everything that's ever there's what not demons.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Let me see here. And I got
The
pictures of
alien sitting on the
talking
chair, that
show.
cracks me up.
Yeah, do not butter the bread of confusion. There it is. Me holding all the little signs. Stuff from Hellfire. That's awesome. When I did Lou's stupid book,
Uh-huh. Oh
a bunch of
yeah.
things that I just, you know,
So tell me about his book. Was it full of interesting information, or is it just the same old stuff you've already heard on the talk circuit?
exact same stuff. It was a rehash of everything. Imminent. It was I made fun of that book so much. Because it was like I put the old man picture of Jay and Silent Bob. You know how they would stand outside the store? Do you know who Jay and Silent Bob are, Raven?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I'll find it because it was funny. Yo, it's aliens, bitches. On the cover of the book. I can't find it. It's just everything's it was one of the it was it was
Aren't those? Didn't they come out with the memes with Giorgio Tsoukalos?
everybody come out with memes. I think me and Tim also made memes about Giorgio.
I
No,
also
I
got in trouble for mine.
He's a really
did?
good-natured dude. He
Mhm.
thought it was flattering. All those memes that
Oh,
came
he
out.
didn't think mine was flattering. He threatened to sue me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, do tell.
Facebook
Hell,
moderators didn't find mine flattering.
Tim, what happened?
Oh,
Do tell.
I had AI create an image of an alien exploding on his face, and it looked very much like a giant alien dildo
Oh my gosh.
exploding in his face.
Oh
And
no.
the moment it went up, I'm like, it's going to get flagged, and it got flagged by the AI from Facebook.
How long did it make it before it got
About
flagged?
3 seconds. One guy saw it. One guy saw it, and it was like, that was awesome.
I loved you. I loved Giorgio.
I have the image somewhere, but it'll get us banned, so I'll share
Yeah,
it
that's
some
not
other
the
time,
kind.
some other way.
We have to use community standards, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
That's funny.
I'm trying to find.
Well, with most people's memes, he was very good natured about it and took it quite well. Was kind of flattered by it. He's a good sport. He's a
Mine
good
was
sport.
very early on, so I think that's why he didn't take it like a good sport. He did not take it like a good sport. I'm looking for
So funny.
these pictures that I made because there are it's got to be all in the ufology ones.
Where is Lynn Ann?
Lynn is sick tonight. She called out, and she is having migraines.
Oh no.
So yeah, that sucks. But I am assured that she will be back up and going in a day or two.
All right. I better give her a call.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm looking for the pictures. Man, I have got a hell of a set of trading cards if I ever make these pictures into stuff. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, can you put a couple up on the screen?
Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. Let me get that one down. That is the first folder, right? That is in the first folder.
Black-eyed children.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here.
So, do you think they're alien, or do you think that they are
Oh, yeah,
just
they're
demonically, demonically possessed?
Not not demons.
Not demons?
This guy.
Yeah. Bashir.
Yeah, that guy. He is got a niche, right? he's got a niche. He is something. I don't know if he's like an
Bashar.
ambassador. Bashar, right? From there to here, that he is actually. I don't know what to think of this guy, right? I don't think he's making it up. I think he's
No.
definitely being influenced from the outside, but how and why, I don't know if I'll ever be able to understand.
Well, his
Oh,
story
this guy.
begins with he was in a car. I think they were somewhere along the East Coast, and it was in the middle of the afternoon. And he looks he's in the back seat. He looks up and he sees a UFO, and this UFO is seemingly following their car. And there's two or three other people in there, and they're all kind of starting to freak out. And sure enough, they got home to where they were going, and that thing was like hovering outside, but not everybody could see it. Some of them could, some of them couldn't.
I remember this story.
Do you remember?
I do remember.
Okay,
this
so
story.
then shortly thereafter, he kept like having this entity talk to him, and he wasn't sure. He kind of thought it was his own imagination or his own whatever. And then he went to a channeling thing out of curiosity, and when he went up to talk to the guy afterwards, he said, "You'll be doing this too." He kind of helped him, I think, shoulder something like that. Anyway, he's for real. But his contact is like an aspect of him in a parallel Earth, and they are a hybrid. They are he's got some kind of connection to this ET. It's either him in a parallel or future life or something, but they're half gray and half human. He's a total hybrid. This Bashar that comes in. He has an overall very positive message. He answers a lot of questions from the audience on metaphysical topics, and sometimes
he answers very sarcastically, and I can thumbs up that.
Yes, he's got a delightful sense of humor. He really does.
Sarcasm.
And I haven't found anything scary or
nothing scary,
foreboding, or but he's not also. He's not a rainbow lollipop dude either. He's not a woo woo. Everything's beautiful. All aliens are great, and let's all sing kumbaya type.
Right.
Those I don't trust at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well. Then there's this guy from. He did Hellier. No. He did Hellier. Greg Newkirk.
Newkirk. That's it. I knew it.
Greg Newkirk. I'm pretty sure he's one of them hybrids, because he's got some very interesting features about him, but he's tuned in for sure. He's the one that, I don't know, he thought I was trying to nose in on his show, and I'm like, no, dude, I just want to be friends with y'all. And they're very millennial, and they were all like, oh my God, this Gen X is talking to me, he must want something. And I'm like, no, I don't want nothing. I was planning on going and visiting them, right? But they don't have an open place, so I was going to go find a show. Shows are $55. Like, what? At least the one I was going to go to was like, that's expensive, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
Is that just is that just admission?
Yeah.
Does that include anything at all, and everything, all the rest of the stuff is a la carte?
No, that includes the whole, they do a presentation and a traveling museum. Here is another picture.
Oh, yes, that's right.
They do a traveling museum, and I cannot imagine hauling around a bunch of haunted, cursed energy items. Okay.
Can you imagine the insurance on that?
Oh my God!
Who would insure? What? I would like to know the insurance company.
Here's the original Annabelle doll. They had to call in the National
Not to
Guard.
mention, you'd spend a fortune in smudge sticks and sea salt and
all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just looking through. I don't know what's coming up next.
That's funny, Nathan.
Oh yeah, I was talking about. This is the Clone Wars. And this fucking guy, Jeremy Corbell.
Jeremy.
I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of this dude. Okay, not a fan. He is all my way or the highway. And what's up with that damn safe in the back? You know what? Maybe I should have a safe and just have like a swirly
It
thing.
is
Like
a bit. I've noticed that. It is a bit presumptuous, isn't it?
this guy.
I think that he's half accurate. Ouch, can't stop it. And half paid.
Yeah, he's part of the narrative, and I'm like, ugh. He fills in the blanks when he ain't got information. That's something you're not supposed to do as a researcher.
Right.
So he's being a front man. He is. I don't know if he's sold any books yet. Oh yeah, by the way, this is from Fox News. So how trustworthy is that? I don't even know what these pictures are going to show y'all. Oh my! And out of the frying pan into the fire with this guy. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
Suicide booths, anyone? Oh, another one. I must be in the psyops disinformation folder or something.
Just reading his face. Look at the worry lines. Look at the heavy crease right here, and look at the downturned lips. I mean, he's not a happy individual. And look at the worry lines across his forehead. Look how deep they are.
Old picture too. This is at least 3 years old.
It's really stressful being a liar.
Yeah, it is.
It shows on your face.
Yeah, the psyops, y'all. When I was taught how to do psyops in the lightest of duties in the chaplaincy, it was stressful on me. They could always pick out when I was bullshitting them. And I'm talking like single soldier retreats and whatever. And when I wasn't into it, they really picked up on that, and see the way his shirt is done, like a used car dealer.
Yeah.
I don't.
And then he's got that American flag pin there. I mean,
people who fly American flags too freaking hard are trying to make up for something. I feel like.
Yeah. I'm all for the flag too, but not like everywhere.
Not like I'm going to wear it on my cheap polo shirt.
Yeah, right. And this is from 60 Minutes. Let's see. The Residents. That was the panel discussion. That was this guy, Jaime Maussan. You know what? He has got his own narrative going. He really does. Because, I mean, let me see. Can I do it? Hey, look at my trash bags. It's the bestest UFOs.
That's good.
This is the best UFO photo all year.
But in his defense, he got set up bad. Him and L.A. Marzulli over at this little ferry thing that looked like a little demon about this tall.
I remember that. What was that all about again? Remind me.
And it turned out to be phony, but it was very convincing. But it ruined his credibility.
I don't remember that particular story.
L.A. Marzulli has a YouTube channel here also. He's always into hunting the Nephilim, and he's a born-again Christian that really focuses on the books of Genesis and the giants and marrying that up with archaeology. He's not of the ancient aliens camp. I think they're a little too, well, I don't know. But he's not part of that camp, but he kind of does the same thing. He does investigative journalism into some of these Old Testament Bible stories and stuff that pertain to this, whatever. So the two of them, somebody sends it in to either Jaime or LA. I can't remember which one of the two of them, but they consulted with each other then, right, and brought this out before it was fully tested. And I guess when they x-rayed it or did an MRI on it, that's when they determined that it was somebody pieced it together. But it just put egg in the face of both of them. And really, they're both not these.
Okay, well, when did this happen? When did this? Yeah, I don't like setting people up for failure. When did that happen?
Probably it's been maybe 10 years now. Okay. 8 to 10 years. I'm thinking 2013, 2012, somewhere in there.
Okay.
But it's this 2025. Is that around 15
Yeah, let's see.
years?
Let's
20
just
years?
keep on going with pictures. I'll go through all these folders and we'll just talk about them.
But he's really not a bad guy. He gets a bad rap, and nobody seems to. They all say that he isn't credible, and I don't believe that's true at all.
Okay. Here was, do y'all remember this picture? This was sent to me by someone who got themselves banned from the show. You may remember this one. And the only one in this folder. Remember this one?
Yes.
I think this is fake, y'all. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring the chat room over here. It's hard to run slides and pictures and pay attention to the chat too. I'm listening to you and I'm listening to you two here on the show with me, but I'm not really reading much. I have to maximize the screen so I can see, so I can navigate and everything. But yeah, I don't think this is real. I think this is like AI generated and scrubbed the fuck out of through filters and stuff.
Somebody's definitely wearing a bikini.
I don't think it's even that. I think it's an action figure or something from the Halloween store. I'm going to get it off the screen right there.
Well, I've seen this and I've stared at this thing quite a lot. I really don't know. It's
paper mache.
Yeah, something. I think it's fake. I'm looking at these different folders. We are on Ufology 35, and I am on folder Ufology 5. Just to see. This was a fun show.
With AI, it's so hard to tell these days what is, unless you know for a fact that it was taken like back in before they had, personal home computers. Oh my God, yes.
Remember this one?
Yes.
This was a great one.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Yeah.
Now get away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Yeah, we were talking about the Vatican cover-up. I couldn't think of a better picture.
Oh my God, it's perfect. Yes.
That's the Vatican looking down on all of us.
Oh, Monty Python's my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I will taunt you a second time.
You silly can it.
Yeah. Let me see here.
So I had that movie memorized. I'm such a nerd.
Oh yeah. Okay, why not? Let's just show the pictures, right? But this is when I gave Amy permission to use all my stuff at any time, all the time. And it's just a screenshot of Twitter and me saying, let me read it. Question, can I use a snippet of your video from today? The part about the Galactic Federation waiting for us. It's an old idea on my show. Keith Andrews talks about it regularly. And this was when May of last year, May 24th of last year. Well, what do you know? I took a screenshot and I got the date. Yeah. I loved hearing it said by you and that guy. I don't remember who that guy was. This is the video I want to use just a little bit. It's unlisted for now until I get permission from you. Galactic Federation, you don't say. And she told me you can use any of my content whenever you want. So permission from her to me. I've given her permission to. Let's see what else. What's here? Former Israeli space security chief. When is this from? I don't remember when this is from. At the SALT conference. Yeah, this is still a year ago. Man, did any of that stuff come to pass? Or is it coming to pass? Nobody can even remember it. I guess not.
Yeah.
A Galactic Federation has been
waiting for time loop.
What's up, Tim?
I said we're caught in a time loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galactic
Yeah.
Federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. Haim Eshed said. Okay, I remember Haim Eshed. What else is in this thing? Oh, yeah. This is the Pangea. I forget what we were talking about. I think we were talking about the expansion of Earth. I mean, physically expanded. Where did all this extra water come from? Anything else? Oh, yeah, this is just, that's it for this folder, I think. Yeah, that's it for this folder. Next
Now
folder.
Are you familiar with East Eddy Ranch?
Yeah.
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 We need a quantum show field trip to go there.
Yeah. You asked me how much is it to go to the place?
Yeah, to the Bigfoot conference.
It's like $25.
Okay.
That's it. $25. Oh yeah. Ufology 9 is when I went to let me just open this up. I went to Strange Realities conference, the one I got kicked out of by the other side. Yeah, that's when my pen exploded. When I thought, am I going to go? My pen exploded. Said, nope, I'm not going. So I'm just looking through a lot of these. I don't have a lot of pictures for. Oh,
Say they have Sasquatch there at that East Eddy Ranch. They've got an adolescent who likes to steal things from the visitors there, but he returns them the next day.
I think we were still talking about the Vatican at this time.
Yeah. That, and they have AI in confessionals now somewhere on the East Coast. I'm thinking maybe Boston or somewhere. Yeah. It's an AI confessional at the Catholic Church. Like, what? No, say it isn't so.
Yeah, remember, I was trying, this is before I made my own visible spectrum or quantum spectrum, the electromagnetic comparison. You got large to small, you got radio to gamma ray, and you got temperature. Oh, I remember this one. This is the first Aliens Are Not Demons.
Yeah.
Made by Hellfire Studios, now known Mr. Hellfire. This looks creepy
cool.
to me. This looks like a scary thing because
you think?
I do. Yeah, he made it different, right? He made it happy with blue glowing wires. I played around with the inversion settings, and it came out looking like I pulled something out of the weeds. You know, it looks like something.
Those are just atoms and things bouncing around, and electrons, right? They've just been smashed in the
blue one
Hadron
did.
Collider.
The blue one looked like that, but this one looks like some acid tripping spiders got a hold of my show name and just went crazy with it and incorporated some vines. Let's see what else is in there. Yeah, this is the same day. Remember this? Raven, remember this?
Yeah.
You were like, where did you get it? I'm like, I do desktop publishing. I made it. I created it.
I mean, it's awesome.
I remember the explanation of this one. We are in the middle between the two squiggly lines. That's our focus on reality. That's what we can perceive. And everything on the left and right, huh?
Yeah, rainbows.
Yeah.
That's our perception of reality.
Yeah.
Ultraviolet and then down to the infrared.
Right. On both sides. We can't see anything on the left and can't see anything on the right. But sometimes we can go over there and they can come over here.
Yes.
You know, and let's see, anything else? No, that's it for that folder.
Yeah, and you look at that and you realize that you're not the top predator. You know, what is able to see from range to range? Is there a creature that can see all the way, the entire spectrum? Do you know? I don't know.
What'd you say, Rick?
Goldfish.
Oh, goldfish?
They can see ultraviolet.
Oh, okay.
Can they see infrared?
Yeah, I think so. They see in wavelengths that we don't. Their wavelengths are mainly nighttime stuff, UV.
Yeah. This is what Jim is talking about. it was happy, and then they inverted it and turned it, the not demons into definitely demons. Made it scary. Yeah, I made it scary because it was a demon show. God, that show still haunts me, y'all. It really does. I mean, I can't explain it, right? Next folder. Yeah, that's it for that folder. We're on to ufology 10. Does 11 have anything in it? Oh, don't know. Yes, it does. This is going to be interesting. Blast from the past. There we have Aussie Tiger. Aussie, you are there.
Nice.
Aussie Tiger, I'm going to say this is a camera error and he's not a shadow person. I'm going to say he's not a shadow person. The camera is lying. And these people, I can't remember. I don't remember. I think these are from the far left of ufology, and they're not. I don't remember. This was at least a year ago. But apparently, Aussie, you were on this panel over here, and it looks like slapped ham.
Yeah.
So that's the logo in the top left.
Yeah. I recognize that.
Now let's see what else is in here. Oh yeah, I was talking about an engine that time. Yeah, they decided not to. This is Blueprint engines, all steel and iron, 4-cylinder, 300 horsepower engine.
Mm-hmm.
They decided not to go with this, to zip up all the files and go with big block engines instead. I'm like, man, I would love to have this 300 horsepower engine in my Hyundai. I would love that. They took like a, they call them the things that drag around the giant planes, tugs.
Mm-hmm.
The little tractor looking things. That's what this engine is from, the bottom half of it.
Oh.
And the top half is from a Camaro. The head is from a Camaro. Yeah.
What an interesting marriage.
Yeah, and it turns out it was a really badass little motor. They made it work. And I'm like, I will stand in line. Where do I send my money? They decided not to make it, and that was a shame.
Oh
yeah, here we go. Eminent. I might find my meme in here. I don't know. That was his book. Oh yeah, I was talking about free energy, not free energy, but hydrolysis. This dude put this in a square back Chevy truck, and he's been running with it for like 5 years. All he does is fill it with water and make sure the stuff stays full. He's been running with it for 5 years, and he's been getting 70-something miles a gallon in like a 1975 pickup truck.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
People like him tend to disappear, you know.
The people who disappear are the people who try to patent it and disrupt the system. As long as you're doing it only for yourself, they don't care.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, this is some fake stuff that people put out. I'm pretty sure this is fake. It looks fake to me.
Well, the first one does, but the second one
looks like it could be just a mistaken something. You know, it looks
could
like
be, but I've seen some stuff that kind of looks like that too. So I would say the first one here up front in blue is.
Yeah, you know what?
Fake.
Your pictures revealed a lot of stuff. I mentioned you earlier. Your pictures revealed a lot of stuff that you couldn't see because you were looking at it on your phone. Remember? I'm like, what are those lights in the woods? I didn't see those at the time. What is that thing sticking down? I didn't see that at the time. That's why we look at stuff on the big screen.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you look at stuff on your phone and it looks one way. I didn't see nothing in the Dicyanin videos. I look at them on here and I release them out. Everybody starts seeing stuff. And I start seeing stuff. I'm like, whoa. Shingoji put it on his giant screen. He started seeing stuff. You know,
really?
It was so cool.
So
I did it. What?
What did he see?
He saw he saw, and then I saw later, what's that walking through the woods? I was on the side of my house. Now, I've taken y'all over there before in video.
Yeah. You saw something walking?
Yeah, I saw something, and I swear it looked like it was like 2 feet tall with a pointy hat. What the hell?
Oh, that's a gnome, isn't it?
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Well, you're close to woods there, and there's a river back behind there, isn't there? There you
I've
go.
got a river and a major creek. It's called Overall Creek. And it's not like overall the land, it's like overall.
Yeah.
They're farmers here, so they name stuff all simple like, They
Yeah.
don't want to get confused with stuff.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, I've taken y'all to the cemetery and around, walking around the church. I should do that again because the weather's nice.
Yeah.
And
We were
Yeah.
up in the 80s already today.
same here. Same
Yeah.
here. We were like, I don't remember 80s, something 80s, and it's gonna be like that tomorrow too.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
do believe in nature spirits, and before I moved here, I thought, well, it's possible, and I didn't put too much credence in it. And now I'm certain, excuse me, that there are nature spirits. I would get this prompting shortly after I moved in. I'd be sitting here 2:00 in the morning, and I'm researching, I'm doing stuff on my computer, and all of a sudden, in a voice that was not my own inner voice, I would hear, "Get up, go outside, take a picture." And I'm like, what the hell? I'm getting tired, and it just kept bothering me. So finally I got up and took the phone and came out here off the deck and took 3 or 4 pictures. I get back in there, and there's a pink little orb, and there's a yellow one over here, and there's
Yep.
a dark green one over here. And I'm like, oh my God, how wild is that? And then there would be, my keys would constantly go missing. And I got to the point where I still do today, where I leave my keys in the Jeep at all times so I can find the damn things. That's half the reason I'm always late. I couldn't find my keys,
yeah, I remember.
and I would blame them. There was an episode of Paranormal State, if you remember that show. It was on A&E for a long time, and they had a house that was plagued with these puckwudgies, they called them, and they're a nature spirit. And apparently, this house was built right in one of their pathways, and therefore they were pissed off, and they would go in that house and just raise hell, drive the dog nuts, drive the people nuts, and they finally had to kick them out, but they had to appease them, and they put some plants out, but just to safeguard the house, they still buried Archangel Michael pendants at all 4 corners, north, south, east, west. But they made like a peace offering of some sort, which I don't remember what it was, and it stopped. The activity stopped.
Right. I do remember Paranormal State and all the stuff they got into.
Yeah.
So let's
I love
see.
that show. I was sad to see that end.
Yeah, they had some internal stuff go on. They had some internal stuff, major internal stuff. So this is just what's left in that folder. The panel discussion, me and the panel discussion. You can see I changed the angle. You can see.
Yeah, you did.
There's a Dalek. There's a droid. There's some supplements. What else? Oh yeah, this guy, Reptilian Realm Roast. I thought about making sponsoring coffee.
Yeah, why not?
I might do that for if I put on an event. I don't know who this guy is. I don't remember who this guy is. But if I put on an event, I'm gonna have stuff like this for sale. I'm just gonna make packaging and put like Folgers in it with a bonus sticker or something on the inside. Oh yeah, this fucking guy, UFO Jesus, post disclosure world. You remember this guy, right, y'all?
Yes.
I've seen him before. What's his name?
I can't remember his name, but everyone was calling him UFO Jesus because he used to wear a kimono. This guy,
Really?
he desperately wants to be in the narrative.
Okay.
Desperately wants to be in the narrative. And that's why he renamed his stuff Post Disclosure World. And this is from August of last year. 4 days until Lou's book imminent drops. Y'all, it was such a non-happening thing, that book.
Yeah.
It was, I read it in 2 days. speed read it. There was nothing in there that we haven't already talked about, diagnosed, dismissed, debunked right here on the show, or come up as can't, or we don't know what it is. So that's it for
Right.
that.
My candle just went out. Ooh.
Let's see, that was show 11. Does 12 have anything in it? Oh yeah, that was when I went over the book. That's such a nut. What do they call it? A nothing burger. Yeah, it was a nut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on my hat too.
With Lou, I feel like he's like a tragic, almost a victim here.
Oh crap!
Um,
You know what? We got to do this.
What's this one?
Is totally right. It's coffee time. I'm well beyond. I've been out of coffee. It's time for some. So I will take myself and stupid Lou off the screen for now. Hey, Blue Chicken, welcome back. You should be here all the time, but I know I got a late show. So let me go ahead and it's coffee time. And I'm not quite due to do the bio break, but it's definitely coffee time. So watch for ghosts.
Okay, we will. Watch for ghosts. Yeah. Are you
You're
familiar with these?
outside too, aren't you?
Huh?
You're outside too, aren't you?
Yeah.
I see a little hint of tree behind you.
Yeah. I'm up here on my deck.
Nice.
And the cats walk across this railing here, and it's 2 stories up, and it makes me a nervous wreck, but they do it to me all the time. Anyway, I had to move the candle because I want her to fall.
Nice.
It's so hot. And my air conditioner is not working right now, so I had to come outside to do this. It was just too stuffy in the house. 86, I think. High 80s.
Warm for you. I think we were 84 here.
Yeah. It's just all of a sudden kind of like slammed into summer because it was warm there for a little while and then it slapped back cold again. I mean, like long johns on, long johns off, long johns on, long johns off, and finally, and then it's just like, boom, now it's in the 80s. What happened to the 70s? What happened to that gradual lead in, We went from 50s to now 80s, just boom. And, yeah. I like it more gradual. I like it in the 70s.
I like 77 the best. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good temperature right in there. Yeah. You're in the Midwest, aren't you?
I am Midwest and South.
Okay.
I'm as far north as you can still be in the South, and as far east as you can still be Midwest. We're under Missouri. We're over Louisiana.
Okay, gotcha. Good place.
So it's weird. The north part of the state gets a Midwest influence. Like my accent, I don't have as much of a Southern drawl as people in other parts of the state. It's mainly a Texas accent, if anything, from this part of the migrant trail. And
used to go through that country. I've been on those highways through your state many times en route to Walmart with a job I used to have. Yeah. And right along the highway are these beautiful, it's larger than a creek, but not as big as a river. I don't know what you guys call them. It's bigger than a stream. They would come down through those hills and you can just pull over on the side of the highway and go over there and find all kinds of wonderful quartz and rocks if you're into collecting rocks and crystals, just right there. And I was just impressed with how beautiful it's still got all that natural beauty to it. It's, kind of got rugged.
You're talking about the springs, like the hot springs?
Yeah. Well, the water would be, flowing pretty quickly, but it was too rocky. You couldn't have rafted it or anything, and it was not that big. But much of the highway, the main one that we went to Bentonville, Arkansas, is where we used to go see Walmart, the company I worked for.
Yeah.
We made some bar stools and stuff for it. Anyway, it's just beautiful. And I always enjoyed going down there for the natural beauty.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My part is mostly outdoor recreation. I live in the Arkansas River Valley.
Oh.
And the Arkansas River Valley is between the Ouachitas and the Ozark Mountains.
Okay,
so
yeah.
There's not a big urban growth boundary here. It's small towns and cornfields mostly.
Yeah. Perfect. Do you have many Bigfoot sightings in there?
Not here, but in the Ozark Mountains for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. There's a lot of people who've seen things that are bigger than a bear but smaller than an alien.
Yeah.
Well,
Any
No
ghosts?
ghosts.
No,
I didn't see anything.
not
Nope.
this time. Okay.
Not this time.
Bigfoot borrowed your headphones for a minute, though.
Did
Yeah.
Let me do something here. Damn it. I can't do anything off the cuff.
Oh.
I always drop everything.
Bug just straight above my nose.
I'm a Bigfoot believer because I saw a Bigfoot when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, or what I at least interpreted as a Bigfoot.
Really? Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
tell us your story.
Oh, I told it on the show before. I was
forever.
I was somewhere between 6 or 8 years old. It was after a Christmas, and I was supposed to drag the Christmas tree off into the woods, and I dragged the Christmas tree off into the woods, and I saw this boogeyman up in the tree, and I ran back to the house, and I was like telling my dad and my mom what I saw, and they thought maybe it was somebody in a ghillie suit, maybe it was a bear, maybe it was something else, but I'm like, no, it was a man up in the tree. And kids just see and believe what they see and believe, but when they become adults, it influences whether they believe in Bigfoot or not, for sure.
Right. Was it Harry? Do you recall?
Yes.
Yeah. How high up in the tree was he?
He was way, way up in the tree, and it was pine.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way, when they went out and they looked, he wasn't there. And the only way that he could have got away was go tree to tree, like, some, what the fuck is that movie? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon shit.
Right.
And I don't see that happening, so it's a Bigfoot to me.
I've heard stories like that of Bigfoot going through the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're also supposed to be interdimensional, and they can raise and lower their frequency at will, and therefore they just phase out. Yeah, they just phase out.
Here and not here at the same time.
Right.
Just like
that's why you can see the footprints in the snow that just end, and then there's nothing.
I mean, I know all that, and I also know that I'm sensitive, and I've always been sensitive because, long before I saw this, I'd seen like a little demon fly out of my bed when I lived in Adak, and I've seen ghost orbs follow cars that had accidents, and I've seen I've seen a lot of things. I've seen Civil War soldiers. Here in adulthood, I've talked to Civil War soldiers in a trance. Yeah. And yeah, I just, you know, I grew up with it, and I never knew that it was any different.
Yeah.
Same. I know the
Yeah.
feeling. Like I see auras for I don't know how to explain it. It's just the way I perceive everybody. And it's not a visual thing, it's a feeling thing. Like I said,
Yeah.
I took a picture of my friend Adana while she was at work, and I ran across it on my phone, and I was like, "Who is this?" I didn't recognize her, not because I don't know what she looks like, because that part that I would perceive in real life was not captured on the picture.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like part of it was omitted because the camera can't see what I can see. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep. Yep.
Mm. Right. It's like, well, it's just like that. And hey, Joe Monk, welcome back to the Quantum Show. You haven't been here in a while, I don't think. Welcome back. And Renee doing the celebration of coffee
Hi,
break.
Renee.
And boss, Aussie boss saying, please like, share, and subscribe to
Aussie.
Here Quantum. That was the coffee break announcement right there. I keep forgetting to say that. And I forgot to post the link up there. Well, links, well, I have to do this because StreamYard wants me to do this. YouTube yells at me, StreamYard yells at me, everybody yells at me. All these people yell at me. The other side yells at me. The guide yells at me.
Everybody's yelling at you, huh?
Me. Everyone wants to yell at me. And here comes the cat dimension.
Yep. This one's Donnie. Hello, say hi. Hello, people. Hello.
Hey, Donnie. Oh, well, we missed Donnie.
No, here.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Bring up Donnie. Here's Donnie, everybody.
Yeah, say hi.
Donnie's like, I want an orange cat all over this place.
He's so funny. He sleeps in my Jeep every night. He's gone during the day, and I have a little towel for him in there, and a little food, and a little water thing, and a litter box away in the back because he likes to protect the Jeep from the raccoons. He does a good job.
Good job.
They don't mess with it. Yeah, they don't mess with it when he's in there. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going through. Currently I'm going through the ufology folders of. Oh, here's a good one. Well, no, not really. What does this say? Okay, this is a blast. It's a nice little blast from the past, Tim, for you.
Okay.
This is before you join the panel. I will read it. Let me see here. You were there. I was showing an article editorial. Is a violent gang of illegal immigrants taking over Aurora? Oh yeah, they did. When was this? I don't even remember. Denver Post. I don't see a date on there, but my shirt was still in good shape then.
Oh, wow.
Wyoming happened to Colorado, and then there was a disclaimer of talking about flat Earth on Wikipedia. What random mix-up do we have here talking about illegal gangs in Colorado, Wyoming happened to Colorado, and flat Earth with DJ Wardove?
Wow.
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
I know. I mean, looking back, I don't. This had to be 2 years ago? No. Let me find out. Can this tell me when it was? I'm looking at the.
I'm not even sure what I'm saying.
September 1st, 2024. I don't remember either. Whatever happened? Well, I don't know either. But it's interesting to look back.
Yeah, evidently something happened in Wyoming that I thought was also occurring in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole flat Earth thing is crazy as hell too. I see District Nuevo from Inner Earth.
Yeah,
and that got you flagged.
Yeah, it did. Oh yeah, here we. Hello, computer. I forget what the topic was then. Oh, AI. This is
Yeah.
This is from.
I remember when this was state of the art. Now it's state of silly.
Yeah, now it's like for sale at Walmart.
That
Almost.
thing is scary.
Oh yeah, this was one of the Antarctica shows because this is the edge of a lost continent. This area right here, this is the
Oh.
top edge of a lost continent. We're gonna. It's just the Google result of this. Plan 9 from outer space. Yeah, District label from Inner Earth. Fuck yeah. You said it.
Go back and see the show now.
Yeah. That was a crazy one. Look at, because I was doing all this
Yeah.
and the Panle. I misspelled it. Panle. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Panle. And I fixed it. Okay, that's it for that one. Oi, man, I like reviewing. Oh, whoops.
It's fun going back.
Okay, let's just stick with that one. Yeah, it was Cuba. It was Cuba, and it was also there was also the. It sounds like a church. I can never think of that.
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. That's going to be. There's one for the Quantum Show. That place that sounds like a church. Quote, you heard it here on the Quantum Show. That place that sounds like a church.
You're clairsentient, and I'm the one that's claircognizant. The words just pop in my head. Yeah.
Because that's I'm calling that a Quantum Showism.
Yeah, definitely.
That place that's going on a trading card. If any trading card gets made, it's that one. Let me here's the trading card photo. Screenshot.
It's a funny face.
I'm being goofy, guys. That's all.
Well, that map of Cuba you just had up in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
There's were we talking about this last week? Were we talking about the pyramids they've got underwater?
Oh yeah.
And they've kept it on the down low. There was a woman that discovered it. I think she was of Greek heritage. She had like a Greek name.
Mm-hmm.
But,
it sounds like a Greek name. No.
It might have been French, but I'm thinking of Jacques Cousteau there. I don't know. But anyway, she found that stuff, and then they squashed the story. There's only one little thing that came out about it, or was on a, I think it was on a documentary on History Channel. I used to, when I had cable, I watched, the History Channel was on my TV 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, but then the story was squashed.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
There's pyramids everywhere, all over this planet. And why is it that like China tries to hide them and they plant all these trees and stuff up and down the slopes? I'm trying to. They don't want the rest of the world to know they've got any pyramids there for some reason. I don't know what they're.
Tepe. Planting trees. Does China do that too?
Yeah, China's done that on those pyramids. They were shown on Ancient Aliens, and I saw them in one other documentary. Yeah, they've got pyramids there.
Oh, for sure they got pyramids. I didn't know that they had.
They try to camouflage them though. Like that's got to be a danger to the. They're planting all these trees all up and down, all four sides. The roots eventually they're going to start
breaking apart the rock.
Yeah. So that they're just kind of destroying them. They're threatening their destruction, you know.
Yeah.
I think it was an energy thing. I think that Christopher Dunn is right. He's the engineer from Chicago University here in Illinois, and he's the first one who came out about the Giza power plant. And he studied them, you know, boots on the ground. He wasn't just somebody who read a bunch of books. He literally went there, measured stuff, looked at stuff, and says that he believes it was a power plant. And I think he's credible in that.
Yeah, I've seen that too. You're talking about Giza, and I agree.
I bet that's how they had energy all over the planet. Those pyramids were the generators, and those like the you know, the Washington Monument, the sometimes they're called a needle, but they're the obelisk. That's probably what connected stuff. Like instead of having our telephone lines with all the stuff, it was transmitted wirelessly, and that would be like a station where it would ground down and then distribute to, you know, people in their homes and stuff. I mean, those tombs over there in Egypt, there's no soot on the ceilings. How the hell in those dark caverns and caves did they paint that stuff?
I posed you that question.
You know?
I was the one that posed that question to you, and I got that question from somewhere else.
And they've experimented with those like copper shields, trying to reflect the sunlight, you know, and have somebody stand here with this way and somebody stand over here and this way, and then, you know, bounce the light back and forth. You can only do that about 3 or 4 times, and then it's too weak.
Yeah.
And you can't paint, not to that level of perfection. I mean, you could do some graffiti, sure, but obviously we're not talking about that. We're talking about intricate lines of hieroglyphs and pictures and stuff.
Yeah, we're not talking about like stacking little rocks.
Yeah.
Walls, like what they find.
Johnny loves Chachi, whatever. You know, it's they had to have had some type of electric light.
Yeah, or some kind of something
to illuminate.
We
those
know
places.
all we know. We try to relate the past as to what we know as in our frame of reference. Where are the wires?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't need wires. Maybe they did, like you said, they did the Tesla way. Well, what Tesla discovered, wireless stuff. You just have your thing with your converter on it. It picks it up like your cell phone picks up your signals to the tower. That sounds familiar.
And those obelisks would have been the like equivalent to the tower, perhaps.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Monk. Tesla had it figured out. Yeah. And
yes, he did.
He got himself killed.
Yep. And all this stuff confiscated.
Joe's coming in hot tonight, Joe. Hell yeah. Copper shields won't work. But they do have guys in parent tombs carrying what looks like gigantic light bulbs. Yeah.
Yep. In Dendera. Yep. It's clearly it's a light bulb. Tonight. I mean, there's nothing else it could be other than a light bulb. I mean, they've got the current kind of in a stylized snake, but it's, you know, it's a light bulb, you know.
Right. It's what they knew. They knew that the electricity could kill them. So what can kill you?
An asp.
Respect it. A snake.
Snake and asp. Yeah.
An asp.
Mm-hmm.
They try to say
that's what Cleopatra recommends. Can you imagine? Oh my God, you got to be really, man.
Reaching. It's called. You got to really reach to come to something like that.
You got to be really depressed and really want to die to, you know, have your servant bring you back a snake in a basket and then take the thing and let it bite you right in the throat. That's hardcore, man.
Call it a flower. And call it a flower. To hell. And we're the crazy ones.
Yeah.
And we're the conspiracy theorists. We're the ones that are wrong.
Yeah, we're the ones that are not so.
You have ghosts in your bones. You should do cocaine about it. That's science. Yeah, give me a fucking break. It's like, oh my God, you have ghosts in your where do I even get this shit from? I don't know.
I had read a couple, about maybe a year ago, that Japan had found a place that the mammoths would go to die, and that the permafrost is melting is somewhere in Russia, I think. And they had a Japanese team go over there and get actual bone marrow that was still living because it had been frozen, flash frozen. And they were going to try to resurrect the woolly mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think of that? They were going to then insert after they did all the whatever they do in the little lab, they were going to insert it in a
Right.
female elephant.
Right.
Whatever came of that? You know?
Nothing. The dire wolf. Remember that? The
Yeah.
dire wolves. They didn't come back. They didn't come back. Those are not dire wolves. Those are timber wolves with a few traits from dire wolves. They're not enormous. I mean, they're pretty big. I mean, when you look at, if y'all have ever been near a timber wolf in real life, let me show you. I'm 5'7", okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not the tallest thing ever, but you see, this is where this is right here is where the doorknob is. Timber wolf, right here.
Oh my God.
Right.
You could
Timber wolf.
almost ride it like a horse.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
Dire
Damn.
wolf. Now, imagine I'm not crouching down. Dire
Yeah.
wolf.
Oh my God.
That's like the medium.
So like in Game of Thrones, that was pretty the one clan that was friendly with the wolf. That the dire wolves are that big.
They're
maybe
they're big.
they're that big. Wow.
They're as big as small horses.
Yeah.
I mean small regular horses like a quarter horse.
Right. Right. That's amazing. That would be so cool to have one of those and ride it. Wouldn't that
Hey
be awesome?
Diane. Diane says
Hi,
hi.
Diane. Hi, Diane.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you, just getting into the topics. But yeah, but the dire wolves is what came from because they never could get the right DNA. What I don't know. Somebody was making decisions for the mammoths, and it just kind of went away.
Mm-hmm.
The story just went away, and here comes dire wolves, but they're not dire wolves. They're timber wolves. They're the wolves that we know with a couple of extra features.
I wonder if they've weaponized them.
Not
Think
yet.
about your front line seeing a freaking mammoth coming charging at them. They would freak the fuck.
Well, they don't need
a dire wolf even.
We can do that now with the elephants.
Yeah,
I mean they're doing it now. I mean look at India.
Alexander the Great had war elephants. Yeah, Hannibal used them to get across the Alps to sack Rome. Yeah,
they're using them now.
Mm-hmm.
That's their border patrol.
I'm a fan of bringing back mammoths. But
oh my God, can you imagine that? You know, what a surprise! How shocking that would be. I mean, they can squash a tank. Flatten it.
Yeah, I believe we have a complete cave bear.
What the hell are you gonna do? Oh my God! Now that's ferocious. But why resurrect these monsters? Do they really think they're going to be able to keep them under control?
Well,
really? You got to have a big tranquilizer gun,
man. We're going to have
a
Jurassic Park situation. Yeah, here we go. Live science from, when was this published? In 2020. They found it in 2020. Let me just bring it up here. Okay. Thank you. It's
cave bear. Now that's scary. That's some scary shit there too. Oh,
well,
Lord.
cave bear. It's not that scary.
Yeah, it is.
They're bears.
Hell, polar bear's frightening enough.
Let me.
The temperament of a cave bear on top of that. Ooh.
Prehistoric mummified bear discovered in Siberian permafrost isn't what we thought. The bear unearthed in 2020 was originally assumed to be an extinct cave bear that dated back at least 22,000 years, but a new necropsy revealed it's actually a brown bear that lived 3,500 years ago. Oops. Perfectly
preserved my God.
Bear. He's upside down. Found in Siberian permafrost in 2020 isn't what he thought. Skipping down. Reindeer herders unearthed the remains, which include the bear's skin, intact fur, teeth, nose, claws, body fat, and internal organs. So it's a modern bear. Yeah, modern bear. Let me go back to the Google search.
The ancestor of the modern bear. Right.
Well, no, it was a brown bear. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a cave bear. It was a modern bear that still exists today from 3,500 years ago.
That's what I meant.
They mistook it for an ancient bear.
The cave bear. Right. Gotcha.
I'm looking.
So there's a theory that these animals that we find like this, that they were flash frozen in a
Yeah.
pole shift.
Okay, pole shift.
Yeah.
Probably not. What I'm thinking is, remember a few years back we had a polar vortex come through and everything froze? I think it was one of them. You know what? Let me do that. Let me get rid of this. Polar vortex.
Green engine, but it's much tastier meat.
What? Oh, what am I doing? Y'all, what am I doing here? Shingato. Hey, Amanda, welcome back. Oh, well, there's Joe Monk. Hey, Amanda, welcome back.
Hi, Amanda.
Thanks for coming to join us at the panel. We're going to be going for about 15 more minutes because, well, trying to keep a format here, you know. And I'm having trouble finding anything about a polar vortex other than definition of what it is.
What is it?
Okay, let me National Weather Service. I will just read. Oh, polar vortex, cold air and low pressure near the North Pole. The jet stream and cold air surge into the south of the U.S. And it looks like this. We're just going all over the place tonight. And that movie, The Day After Tomorrow, was about a polar vortex.
Oh.
And that's when everything flash froze. There was no pole shift, but there was a solar event that caused a low pressure to happen all over, and the heavier cold air went all into the tropical regions, and it almost all the way to the equator, and it flash froze all of North America. Right?
Wow.
The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's that movie. Mm-hmm.
It was one of the Art Bell movies. So let me go ahead and get up that about. Oh man, I got a lot to link in the description.
Isn't that the one where the kids are in the library? They're like in New York, and they're burning books in there to keep warm. And everything's frozen over.
I don't remember. Maybe. I don't remember. But here is the. Let me just show the Google page. Google never gives me a problem. Remember that movie?
Yeah, sure do. Yep.
Aw. There you go. From Amanda's crazy life dimension to the cat dimension.
Thank you.
But this is the movie, The Day After Tomorrow from Art Bell. He talked about it.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. You can buy it on Amazon.
Makes you think. Those things are always. I always catch myself being very tense watching those types of things, you know, and then I'm like so relieved when the movie's over, and I feel a profound sense of gratitude that I'd have. Hopefully, we'll never have to live through anything like that, and wouldn't it, you know, just.
Raven, you're in it now. This is it. We're in changing times.
Yeah, I know.
We are in unprecedented times. Nothing like this has ever happened in history in a lot of instances.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm talking, let's just stick to the natural world, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the Siberian permafrost has for the past 30 years have been showing the weirdest stuff ever. They found copper coils, tiny copper coils. Where did they come from?
Really?
That was 30 years ago. They've been finding
that.
Yeah, they found and they look like electronic parts, right?
Okay.
They look like you took, like, if you take apart an electric motor out of a toy car or something, right? and you take that wire and you wrap it around a piece of wood and then lose it, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
That's what those things look like. And people were trying to say, well, they're fossils. I'm like, fossils are not made out of copper.
No. So what were they conducting?
Nobody knows.
Wrapping around the wood.
Nobody knows. No, I mean, the wood didn't make it through the freezing and thawing process. The wood was gone. The only thing that was left was the copper.
Okay.
I can actually show that.
Have you seen this guy that was on Facebook that talks about wrapping a garden stake with copper wire and bringing down the orgone energy out of the atmosphere, and it helps your plants grow?
Yeah, it's not orgone energy. It's electromagnetic. It's called what, Tim? What's that called?
I'm not sure.
Where you bring down the EMF into the ground, and you ground it, and it electrifies the ground. It's not orgone. It's just
Is that orgone?
Spin. That's a spin on something else. Oh, somebody likes Battlestar a whole lot. I think we're just starting all again. This has already happened before.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're definitely on like our 4th or 5th generation of restarting civilization on Earth as humans. And I think we have, not us, but the people that came before us says, fuck this, I'm out. And they left, right? They either left physically or left energetically. They ascended, whatever. And a lot of them are some of the things that we say are angels or demons.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Well, we're at the very end of the Kali Yuga, the Indian ages. There's like 4 of them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And there's always they say a pattern every 12,000 years. There's a cataclysm that kind of restarts.
Yeah. Let's just look at something here. Here we go. This here, right? Now I said a stick in the middle, but this was found. And this is from 2019. The discovery did not happen in 2019, right? The discovery is from before.
Okay.
Ancient. It's copper. Does that look like it could have been naturally made, or what?
No, that had been fabricated by someone.
Yeah.
Copper doesn't grow like that. You don't find it like that.
It's a trace element.
Yeah.
You don't get a bucket of copper already in a bucket. You have to put it in a bucket.
Yeah. And already, formed like that, and something that you can wrap. It's
right.
Yeah. Oh, these bugs, which one of my nose?
Yeah, these are all found in permafrost things, right? They found all kinds of mummies. They found frozen worms from 46,000 years ago. That was cool. That was pretty cool.
They've got that guy Utsi, they call him, that's 5,000 years old or something like that. That he was found up in the Swiss Alps, and he's perfectly preserved. He's got the tattoos on him and stuff.
Yeah, right. I know that one.
They call him Utsi. He's got like an arm that's like kind of crossed over. But it looks kind of funny, but yeah.
Yeah, ancient copper mine.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's not a copper mine, it's a reserve. It's full of copper. China has discovered over 20 million tons of copper.
They can figure out where that copper comes from.
Yeah.
These forensic geologists. Yeah, and they determined that most of the Philistines and the Israelite weapons that they have from 2,000 years ago, that copper came out of Michigan and Wisconsin.
Really?
And they have found some artifacts that are written in Phoenician, the bottom of the lake.
That was one of the resets. They had high tech that no one knew about. Yeah, I do remember that.
Phoenicians knew about North America.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It's Antarctica.
Yeah, when are we going to get to know what's going on there?
We never will, because we're so deep into what we're doing now the way it is now, that they don't want us to know, because
No,
they
they
don't
don't.
want another furor come up, because it's our stuff in Antarctica. Hitler found it.
They did.
Stuff. It's not aliens down in Antarctica. It's ours. They just started turning everything on, and then the aliens showed up in Roswell, of all freaking places.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did this. I covered this during the time of Admiral Byrd's expedition down to
Yeah.
South Pole, Antarctica. Shortly there, it's about the same time, talking like weeks or months after, Roswell happened. But Roswell wasn't the only time, because Aurora, Texas had it too.
Mhm.
They're still there. They're
Yeah,
still
but
there.
somebody came and dug up the body.
Yeah,
That Jim Mars, rest in peace. Jim
Yeah.
Mars studied that and followed that. And yeah, the Men in Black came and dug him up.
Right, I
him
remember hearing
away.
that story. I wish he was still there, but they're not.
But that well, the crashed parts got thrown into was radioactive, and the property belonged to a judge, and his hands were all deformed from the radiation poisoning that he and his whole family got poisoned from that.
Well,
Well,
I didn't
the
know that.
dumbass, don't throw it in your water supply.
They didn't know anything. They were early
I
on.
know, but still, I mean,
the-
let's just throw some trash in our water and then drink it. What the
Mm.
hell? Just a common sense thing, I would think. But anyway,
Yeah.
whatever.
I agree, Amanda. We should know it all. But you know what? We're ready for it.
Yeah,
The
we are.
Muggles are not ready for it. Muggles are
Well,
not ready for it.
The moguls are not ready to give up their monopolies and the money either, because the day they come out with this, life is forever altered on this planet in every way. You know, that means the suppressed. Yep, technology has to come out. The medical stuff. I mean, the whole. You know, it. Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. I'll shut up now before going on a tangent.
We're at the end of the show. I
Mhm.
need to start wrapping stuff up. Amanda is asking, what do I think about the pyramids? There's a lot going on over there.
Yep, there's a lot going on. These things were written about in 2000 BC by Herodotus. He actually went underneath there and saw this stuff firsthand. He's a firsthand witness. It's nothing new. Yeah, there's layers down below there. There's chambers down there. But he doesn't talk about, well, one thing that I find suspicious is these modern day half-ass pseudoscientists, whatever the hell they are, don't mention the fact that there's water down there. And I'm like, it's such a major part because you have to go down and get in that water, but they don't mention water anywhere in all of that stuff and those diagrams and shit they got. Some of that is just complete bullshit, utter made up. That technology that they use, in fact, has not been tested for a comparison to be made. They're guessing at what they're seeing on that. It's never been used in this capacity before. You did.
Now, if they're something, if they're energetic anything, let's just dismiss the fact that it's full of water, right? And that we could go back to the water thing. But it looks like some kind of a mix between a guitar and a flute. The bottom chambers look like some kind of resonance chambers, and the stuff going up looks like some kind of tuning chambers. I've been doing a lot of muffler tuning and shit lately, and studying because I want my cars to sound amazing. And I've learned a lot about how to manipulate sound. Well, sound is on the magnetic spectrum, just like any of this other stuff. If that's hollow with things going up, resonance, concentration, emitter. Resonance, concentration, emitter. Tuning, emitter. This would be an emitter. Now, funny little thing about the pyramids that are not the Great Pyramid is when you look at this thing in the infrared, I'm talking about the big pyramid, right? And as the day gets cooler and the night comes on, right, then you can see the way it does is the heat goes like this up into a point and it gets concentrated. So it's very hot at the very tip of the pyramid. Because all the heat is radiating because of what is it? Surface tension of hot air versus cold air, or cold air versus hot air.
The
And then
pyramid is the elemental symbol for fire. There
hold
you
up,
go.
hold up. That's a sidetrack. When you get something hot in that shape, it lets the heat go, and hot stays with hot, cold stays with cold. So at a certain point during the early evening, it goes. I wish I had a graphic for this. It goes. The heat rises up, warms the air, and sticks to the pyramid until it goes up into a straight line. But there's something else going on there too, and I don't know. I wish I had. Yeah. Oh, I'm very familiar with Cloudbuster. Very familiar. You want something to get you killed? Water engine, Cloudbuster, Mercury. The three things. You just trying to get me assassinated? Scream engine. Next on the Quantum Show, the red dot. No. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But man, yeah, I totally agree. Everything is energy or frequency. Everything. Yes.
Yes, everything is.
Totally.
Yeah. Isn't it cool how much we know now compared to what we were taught in school? What rubbish most of that is, and so incomplete.
I feel like I was just taught to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Everything was. I mean, even in my most advanced science thinking back then, I was an idiot, and they were enforcing it. Okay.
I felt that they taught a very rigid view of the world, and mine was more elastic, and mine was the one that eventually won out in my head.
Ours,
good.
Dude. All of us. It was Gen X endured all the bullshit so these people could come up the way they are now.
Yeah.
And we did stuff. It's the end of the show. I can't get into it, y'all. I can't get into it right now. But Gen X has done our best. We didn't fade away to nothing. We faded away to the best trolls you'll ever see, because in the background, we're talking to these people who make the rules. We're the ones making stuff happen. We don't get any credit. That's okay. Don't want credit. Want the world to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what we got? No lead paint. That's what we got. That's something we got. We got better tires.
True.
We got OSHA. We created OSHA.
We created MTV back when it used to be music television.
Yeah, for y'all that don't know what we're talking about.
MTV actually used to be music television where they played music videos. I don't know what the hell it is morphed into now. It's been so long.
Reality TV show with
that's just like, why? Make a reality TV show. Leave MTV alone. Well, then again, I'd still be glued to my TV if they would have ever changed it, I guess.
OSHA started 1971. Gen X did it.
Gen X. Right.
Not because we were writing the rules, but because we were getting ourselves maimed and killed by all the stupid ways that no one had figured out. We shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Famous last words are, watch this.
Yeah.
Let's suspend this employee of 500 feet over this engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of us, we can't stand up in the car seats anymore. We're as kids, we have to be in specialty, seat belts and stuff. That's kind of a bummer.
We don't ride in the back of trucks.
Yeah, we don't get to ride in the back of trucks anymore. Damn it! Or
no more lawn darts. Yeah, no more lawn.
No more sleds to the bumper of the cars. Damn it! Can't eat Play-Doh anymore. Jeez, no fun. Where's their sense of adventure?
Okay, everybody, I've got to wrap it up because BioBreak is calling. This has been the Quantum Show panel discussion. We went through folders. We talked about all of it. I'm never going to be able to put that many links in the description. Never. We talked about all the disinfo agents. We talked about all the disinfo, the pyramids, and we touched on Antarctica a little bit. The permafrost, CRISPR. We didn't mention CRISPR, but we talked about the cave bears and the woolly mammoths.
Oh, and don't forget about the Tyrannosaurus Rex fashion purses you can get now.
Tyrannosaurus Rex leather. Yep. Yeah. It's been great. I'll never just listen to the show. Yeah, there was a lot go on both the solo and the panel, and thank you, Obi2. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Got to start pushing buttons here in a minute because I got to take care of this stuff. I got to slam this cup of coffee. Excuse me.
Thanks, Renee. You have a good night too. All right. Yeah,
with the current state of things, every cup has got to be a healing potion.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, that shit works.
Bless your water. Always bless your water.
Oh, my water. I have
everybody. I meant to everybody. Bless your water.
Yeah, bless your water.
It'll take the crap out of it.
Yep. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you hear your quantum, there's that flashing red light. Thanks, everybody. The next guy's got to get out here. So, shout out all the YouTubers in the links and descriptions, and thanks, everybody.
Yep. Love to you too, Amanda.
Sam and Raven, have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thanks, Ossie.
Yeah, I did cover this too. It's like nothing's happening yet. Nothing's happening yet. I've been using it for 2 weeks, and I'm like, maybe 3, and I'm like, now what? You know, I mean, maybe it's preventing something. I did cover that. But I only touched on it because I got nothing really to say. It's getting cheaper to buy. Maybe you should just eat some blue jean material and get the same effect. I don't know. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Hey, Samo. You were lurking the whole time. I knew you were back here somewhere. All right.
Lurking.
Listening and lurking. Thanks, everybody. Okay, I've got to push those buttons now.
Okay.
Ooh, I can feel it. Yep. You got to push them buttons. Okay, I'm just going to do it. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a good night. Keeping it quantum. Might have merch at some point. I don't know. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Pushing buttons.